No. What are you doing? Is it time? Hey? Okay. Morning, it's Friday. Today we're just stacking bales all day. So Jess is going to be driving the wagon, Mark is going to be stacking in the field, and I'm going to be unloading and stacking in the barn across the road. So I think we have all our duties designated. Good morning, America! Or
Canada.
Or Canada. Well, it's not Good Morning America, it's Good Morning Vietnam.
What?
That's what the movie is.
No.
All right, we're across the road, and we have to clean. I have to take the wagon out, take the hay out and put it in my old beef barn, and then clean all this loose straw out to make room for all this year's straw bales. Yeah, so the ex-beef barn will now be straw storage for whatever extra we have that won't fit in the lean-to. We're going to throw in here for now. We're still not sure what we're doing with this yet. I still really would like my rams over here someday. It's on the list. Didn't happen, which seems to be my life story. But if we're like anyone else, you never have enough storage. So okay, so I'm going to pull this out, take the hay bales off there, and just stack them in front of the straw bales from last year, because we'll use those pretty quick, I think, the hay bales. And then we'll just clean up all this loose straw everywhere. I'll probably take these out. Mark wants me to restack this a little bit because they always fall over when you get near the end when we're pushing. So I'm going to stair step them from the back up and then start going higher as we move forward. not sure if you just witnessed that. That was really scary. That bale landed right on my windshield and scared me and Jess. But the two of us actually got that off the tractor by she called it beast mode. So, yeah, I changed my mind. I was doing 4 high and then I'm like, oh, I don't want these in the way so I can't get into the barn with the straw. So then I'm like, oh, I'll just go put 2 more on top. Well, I should have thought about that before the last row. You don't do that at the last minute. And I just pulled the closest row right. Well, it toppled, you saw it. So we're gonna try that again, but we had to say goodbye to a rear view mirror, or to a side mirror, and to my light. That could have been bad. Look at my light. Oops. All right, we safely got our hay stacked nicely. I got a couple bales of straw just left over that I put in there. Jess is just heading out. She's just heading out to meet Mark so Mark can stack he's loading the bales. And then I'm just taking all the straw that we swept out. You can see that in the wagon. That we swept out of here, out of the lean-to. So it's all cleaned and ready to go. Just makes it, if you have a nice clean base, it helps with bales. You don't want them to lean and tip, as you saw this morning what can happen. So yeah, it's just nice to start with a fresh base. That straw, there's enough gravel and dirt and just dust in it that I think we'll just compost it. We'll just put it with manure and spread it. So now I'm just waiting for Jess to bring back bales and we'll get going for the day. I think it's just shortly after 10. So we'll be at this for a few hours today for sure. All right, lunch is done. We did stop for lunch. Trying to stay hydrated with this Farm Wife merch. I do say I put ice water in here this morning and it's 1 o'clock and the ice is still in there. Way to go, Mare. Good product. I have one side of the lean-to full, so I'm gonna start the other side with Jess's load here. So I'll show you what I got so far. This is my stack job. Pretty good. I end up leaving the bales I had from last year. I had about 3 rows already, and it is tough starting the stacking. I'm definitely not a pro at it, so I'm like, you know what? I did all that work last year. I don't want to redo it, so I just left them and then built off them. But that is that side. Now on this side, so it's a bit, the width on this side is a bit smaller than this side. So here it's a bit wider. So I'm gonna put two bales side by side here. So I think we can fit 4 bales there and 5 bales there as the slope goes up. Kind of a rough start, but we got this done in pretty good time. So that is good. Okay, so I am taking over for Jess because she has to go milk cows. So I'm just heading out to the field now to meet Mark and see what he's doing out there. I think we have about 4 loads left, and that lean-to is almost full, and then we will start packing them in the barn. So it's been a week since I filmed that video of me stacking those bales across the road. This is the straw here. We've been using it to bed. It has been beautiful. The sheep do a really good job spreading it out because it never really got rained on, so it's just really nice and fluffy. So it's been kind of a joy to work with. I'll bed up the pens and kind of show you what it looks like once they're happy. I wanted to pop in here too and just say that when I was editing that video, I will tell you that it is hard to watch. I have had friends and family of friends that have been really, really hurt by that exact same situation. And like it literally, like my heart races every time I see it. And I think in the moment, I never realized how freaking lucky I am that worse stuff doesn't happen. And sometimes, a lot of times it's safety features. That bobcat does have kind of cages around it, which definitely, if it fell on top, it would save me. Now the windshield doesn't have much, but the bale's big enough that it kind of spread its weight across it. But it just goes to show you that things can happen really fast. And that was literally in a second of me changing my mind. I was gonna put those bales on the ground, and last minute I changed my mind. I was gonna stack them, and I tried to get the seam. So I tried to get in between 2 rows, but you really can only do that if you started that way, and I didn't. So I had nothing back behind them, holding the weight of the bales behind. So it all kind of leans over and tips over. And I know this. And I'm usually quite good at stacking bales. And I think when you get rushing around, it's a good reminder just to slow down, because I'm really embarrassed I did that. And I don't want you to think that I'm being careless. It was a lapse of judgment, and I want you to know that when you get tired, that stuff happens. I literally have angels looking out for me, because that could have been really bad. I don't even want Mark to see that video. He's gonna get mad. We take safety very seriously here because I'm very accident prone. So I'm gonna bed up my babies, and then I will let you see what all that hard work, all the baling, how everything just gets used as one big huge cycle. We harvest the wheat, we sell the grain, we bale the straw that's left, we use it all year. It soaks up manure, and then the manure goes back on those wheat fields actually. And then we grow cover crops. The cover crops feed the soil with all those nutrients, then the soil feeds our corn crop next year. So it's a really cool, huge system that you guys can really follow along if we do a good enough job explaining it. And I feel like we don't, because we get so caught in the weeds of actually doing the work that we don't talk about the science behind it. And it's a pretty cool science. It's just one big ecological system. And anyway, just thought I would share that with you guys. All right, I'm gonna bed up. We are full. Bales are nicely stored for the rest of the year. Chris has actually already taken some out and embedded with them, but yeah, they're nice and stacked. No issues or problems stacking these ones. If you start them out right, they're easy enough to do. So no bale avalanches from these ones, thank goodness. One was enough for me. So here we are. The barn is full. Some of the straw was left over, but here's the hay all piled up. Much better than my first attempt. And then I only went 4 high in the pen too. You can go higher. It gets a bit tricky though in here. We do keep a lot of straw on hand. We baled 302 total. Does the barn go through that many a year? Not typically. I think we did about that many last year and we had quite a bit left over. All that straw was left over. I think there was 55 bales in here. And then there was still another, probably 4, maybe 30 or 40 outside in the lean-to. So we were well inventoried coming into 2020. But it's always nice having extra. Last year I ran out and had to buy some, and it was right when I had a water leak, and it was really stressful last year. So you just never really know. We always like to err on the side of caution, have a little bit extra. And this year, especially with our friends that lost all their straw, if they need more, we know at least we're sitting on quite a bit more than we usually are. So if they are desperate, at least we have this available. Will this barn eventually be my ram barn? I hope so. I think we could probably do something in here cheaper for those rams, and they could stay in here in the summer and keep everything cooler, and then my conception might be better over there. But those are just manifesting ideas that I want. I tell you guys all these things, and then I never do it, and then I'm really embarrassed. But anyways, I thought I would share what everything looks like a week later after all the chaos is done. I feel so relieved when this stuff gets done in a year and undercover. Mark and I just sat at lunch and he's like, I need to take a holiday. I'm like, me too. I find just life catches up to you and then all of a sudden you realize how tired you are. But this makes me feel really good. Thank you so much for being here and for subscribing and for checking out Jess and Mark's channels. We just love sharing what we do and hanging out with you guys. It seems weird talking to the camera every day. Stay tuned next week. I will have sheep videos. I've been working at that all week because this is the future me talking to you. And I've got lots of sheep stuff on deck. So for all of you that keep saying I miss the sheep, fear not, the sheep are still here. I live a bit of a double life in the summer, so you're just going to have to bear with me, but I do love this side of my life as well. Anyway, thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.